Summer vacation is almost over, guys. So let's grab a blanket, turn off our lights, and recap 3 ghost stories that happened in the summer. The Robin. When my granddad died, I was only 6 weeks old. I only met him a few times. Ever since he died, there has always been a robin in our garden. It is very friendly. I see it nearly every day. He loved nature and his favorite bird was the robin. It's strange. I feel happy that it's there because I think it is my granddad. Maybe it is not, but still it's weird. My parents told me and I see it a lot. The robin flies close to me every time I go out in the garden. One day last summer, I was lying on a bench reading a book, and I had my feet on the bench. The robin flew and landed in front of my feet, and flew away a few seconds later. My dog nearly caught it a couple times. I heard before that people who have died can come back to life as animals. I don't know if it's true, but who knows? It would explain the robin in my garden. Even when they're in the garden, the robin lands near them. My sister was out there one day when the robin landed right beside her. I don't know if robins do that, but this robin does. I wonder if I'm the only one who has had this happen to, or has it happened to other people? I believe in the paranormal, and I have a very open mind when it comes to the supernatural. Also, a few months after he died, my parents were talking about my granddad in the kitchen, and the light over the oven switched on by itself. I don't think my granddad wants to harm me, but to watch over me and keep me safe from harm. I feel happy if it's true, but I might never know. This is my first story. Not a lot of paranormal experiences have happened to me, but a lot to my family. I hope this is the first of many stories. The Closet Ghost. In the summer of 2007, I was babysitting my baby cousin Cameron. He was only 1 or 2 years old at the time. It was a really old house, with a ripped-up old-fashioned sofa in the basement. It also had an old-fashioned wheelchair and a closet in the basement. Apparently, there was a man who died in that wheelchair. He had some sort of leg disease. The closet door is always kept shut to keep Cameron from fiddling with it. Me and Cameron were upstairs where it was really hot. This basement is a lot cooler in the summer, so I decided to take Cameron down the stairs to play with his toys in the basement. It gets very hot in the summer. Utah is so dry. Adorable Cameron was just playing his way out of his world when all of a sudden he jerked his head up and looked straight ahead. I looked at him, trying to figure out what he was staring at. I looked over at where he was looking. He was staring into the closet of the wheelchair. The door was open. I looked back at Cameron. "Cameron, there's a choo-choo train." I tried to distract him. He would not take his eyes off the open closet. In fact, he started to grit his many teeth and grimacing at it. I decided that I had enough of that, so I picked him up to take him back upstairs. He was now growling at the same time. I could hear heavy breathing a few feet away from us. That's when I booked it. I was pretty worried about Cameron, so I called my aunt, his mom. I told her that the closet door was open, and Cameron was growling at it. Surprisingly, she didn't think that it sounded stupid at all, but I did. How else should I have said it? She said she was 2 blocks away from home and would be home in a few seconds. I was relieved to hear that. Just as I was hanging up the phone, I heard a door slam shut downstairs. Literally a few seconds later, my aunt and cousin walked through the front door. I really wanted to find an explanation for that slam. I wasn't quite sure if I was being just paranoid or not. Seeing as I was too scared to go alone, I asked my cousin to come downstairs with me. She agreed to. When we got downstairs, the first thing I noticed was that the closet door was now shut. My cousin tried to open it, but she couldn't. She said that it felt more firm than just a locked door handle. She said that maybe a homeless bum locked it and was holding it from the inside. It was one of those locks you can pick with a bobby pin, and just as luck has it, I was wearing a couple of them in my hair. I took one out and gave it to my cousin. It took her about 10 seconds to unlock the closet door. When we opened up the door, we immediately turned on the light. There was nothing but the empty, old wheelchair in there. I'm still trying to figure out the outside possibilities, but I am out of ideas. That's where I need ideas from you all. If you have an idea, please post them. Real story. Hello. I am new to Reddit, so when I was browsing, I found this subreddit. I read some stories, and I have a story that happened to me 8 years ago that I want to share with you guys. I think maybe some of you will find it interesting, because it's 100% real. I can swear about it. Well, I'm not a very good writer, and English is not my native language, so I will do my best. It all started one summer during summer vacation. I went to the forest with some friends. Where I'm from, there is a big forest near where some people have their expensive vacation homes. A friend of mine have one of those too. So every summer, we went to ride ATVs and hang out with some other people that were there in the summer. I went to a private school, so many of my classmates spent the summer there. So one night, we were invited to a party. We decided to go walking for some reason. We were 3 guys walking in the forest at 1 a.m. Literally, we were in the middle of nowhere, just trees. It was a full moon night, so we did not need flashlights. But a weird thing was about to happen. That night, when we were walking, we saw a silhouette in our way. It was a person figure sitting on a rock, looking at the ground, wearing a hooded black robe, so we couldn't see the face. As I said before, in the summer, a lot of people we knew were there too, so naturally, my friend asked, "Hi, who are you?" Before I continue, I must say that I have 2 versions of this story, my version and my friend's version. I will write mine first. After my friend asked that question, I assumed that he knew him or her, whoever it was, so I walked closer. I was inches of distance of this person. I don't have a very clear thought of what I was thinking. I was like in a trance. It was hard to explain. I needed to see his or her face, so I bent to see the face. The person started to move the head, like he or she didn't want to be seen. Like I was making them feel uncomfortable. Then, finally, I saw him or her lifting up the face. And when I was about to look at the face, I felt like I woke up. I don't know how to explain it. For example, I felt like when you're concentrated very hard on reading a book per se, and then someone touches your arm and you jump, that kind of wake up feeling, you know? So I looked back up, and my friends were far, far running away. Then I turned again to the front, and I was alone. That person disappeared in a second. There was not really a place to hide, so it was weird. Now, I will write my friend's version. What they told me before that incident, when I finally reached them and I asked what happened. They told me that my friend asked, "Who are you?" to that person, and a hoarse woman's voice answered, I am no one. And you? And they were scared and ran. When they began to run, they noticed I was just standing there in front of that person and started to shout my name, which I wasn't answering. The weird part of the story is that when I was in that trance, I wasn't able to hear or listen to anything. I never listened or never heard that she answered back, or my friends shouting, or the running. I was just standing there. I never felt fear either at that moment. I just had a feeling that she was hiding something. I don't know if it was a ghost, but it was a weird sensation. She literally disappeared in a second. So sometimes I guess that it wasn't human. And if you asked, we were 100% sober. No drugs or alcohol was involved. By the way, years before that, I traveled to Prague and I saw a statue that looked identical to this person. It's literally what I saw. Same position, covered in black. I investigated about it, but apparently the statue means nothing. Anyways, thanks for reading my story. If you have some kind of comment, I will read them all.